Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. We're going to talk about an interesting topic today, and it's going to be when does Elon Musk's influence over crypto and Bitcoin ends? I don't think it's going to end, but it's largely going to be abated, and you can actually see this from some of his Dogecoin stuff. Like the first couple of times he tweeted about Dogecoin, it went way up, but as it's come down, I mean, like he really hasn't had as much influence. Yes, there's like the Satoshi Street's bets pump, and then like people memeing in. But Dogecoin, after like its large blow up, has actually been following the greater market, and his latest tweets about Dogecoin doesn't really pump it all that much. So once you start tweeting too many times, then your influence kind of starts to wane. This can be seen on this Friday dump as well. Yes, he tweeted like at the resistance point, and it went down like $2,000, but it didn't really go down all that much further, and it was like a 5% drop. And this was nothing compared to the drop the first time he tweeted something bad about Bitcoin when he actually like turned around. So I think people are getting used to it. And the thing is, like, when he actually tweets about these things, I personally don't think Elon Musk himself has that much Bitcoin. If he actually owned like massive amounts of Bitcoin and he like tweeted all this stuff, he'd be actively manipulating the market. And you could actually get him easily on that. But I don't actually think he owns too much Bitcoin. I think the whales just time their actions according to his tweets because they know his tweets hold like X amount of power. But whales also know that if you abuse something too much, you'll eventually lose that power. And I think they know that he's kind of like abusing his popularity right now. So I think they're kind of like seeing that, each time the influence is less with the overall audience. And because the influence is less with the overall audience, they're really not going in as hard. Like last time, it might have dumped by 5,000. This time, only by 2 or 3,000. Next time, it might only be by 1,000, and then the next time, it may not really affect at all. He is also tweeting at like the major resistance points around 40,000. So we were probably going to bounce down anyways at 40,000 because I don't think we were actually going to shoot past 40,000 this time. We'll still have. I mean, he might actually tweet something at the end of the Miami conference too, and the price is fairly likely to drop after the Miami conference. So if it actually drops, it's not because of Elon Musk, but people will actually peg it on him if he actually tweets something because they're like, oh, he tweeted it. It dropped 2 hours later. But it's really because of a post-conference dump. And we actually see that quite often. So like, yes, I don't really know if he actually like coordinates his tweets or anything. But the thing is, like, each tweet now is having much less effect than it did just like a month ago or 2 months ago. And I think his reputation among like cryptocurrency in the younger generation who's more adopting into cryptocurrency is actually being shot down. And that's really not surprising because people are actually losing money and losing patience over his tweets. Now, he doesn't really care about his reputation among crypto enthusiasts, but the thing is, like, the amount of influence that he actually has over the market does actually matter about his reputation among crypto enthusiasts because if people are just like, people understand that he's just like messing around, screwing around, trying to pump and dump and wield his power, then, like people aren't going to be all that friendly to it. And they'll just basically eventually stop doing what he says. Plus, like all those Zoomers that he actually brought in, they probably just like got screwed and they exited the market. So like I think like people will have less and less patience with him. And I think you've already seen a market decline in his actual power of actually influencing the market and influencing Bitcoin. He'll always have some influence because of his profile, but I think his influence has, for the large part, abated, and I don't think he'll actually have nearly as much influence going on. I think like Mark Cuban actually directly influences it, could actually directly influence it more. He doesn't have the profile of Elon Musk. He has a pretty high profile, but like he actually like his team, the Mavericks, they actually accept like Bitcoin and Dogecoin or whatever. So like he kind of actually puts his money where his mouth is, and like he basically wants crypto to succeed because like the Mavs, which is something he owns, actually owns a lot of these assets, and he doesn't want the assets to actually go down. So he's more marketed and more pointed, and he's probably more strategic in his calculations about what he actually tweets. So that's my view on it. I think Elon Musk's power is going down because he abuses it a little too much. I think like in a month or two it'll almost dissipate altogether, unless like he says like Tesla accepts Dogecoin and then reverses it, which would be kind of funny because that would like cause Dogecoin to spike and then come back down. I don't really care about that because I don't invest in Dogecoin, but there would be a lot of people pissed off at him for doing that. So that's kind of like my view on it. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.